Well, you know, this is the Sunsplash Mix Show, and I am Ja Prince.
And I'm Selecta Princess.
And that is Peetah. Peetah Morgan. Welcome, brother.
Yeah, man, we're there. We give thanks. Good to see you all.
Likewise.
What's going on? First guy say, life first. How is life for Peetah and the family?
Well, we're there. Our whole firm, you know, we just lost our dad. You know, so it's a bit different for us because this is life without our father here with us in flesh. You know, but we keep the wheels turning and we have to carry on the legacy and keep everything upful for the next generation, you know, who we are parents for, his grandchildren and his great grandchildren. So, you know, there's still great works to be done and we'll continue the work.
Yeah. And we know that life is a gift the same way.
100%.
Family have to keep on giving music.
Yeah. That's a must, you know, because our calling is through music and we're not going to give up that. We're not going to stop doing that. You know, Father would not want us to walk away from what God has chosen us to do. So therefore, we have to keep it moving. You know what I mean?
I like it. Yeah. Princess, you know me. I have to play the media role. You know, she's the nice lady. I have to be.
Yeah, man. Do your thing, man.
I know. Say, you know, there's some headlines going around, and you guys released a single. So please tell me about the single before we go to that.
Yeah, headline for front page. You know, it's our first single since this whole pandemic thing. I mean, it's been what almost 2.5 years that Morgan Heritage hasn't dropped anything new. During the pandemic, Grams had put out a solo album and he put out quite a few singles. So we let, you know, the flow of Grams' solo project run through the pandemic because at the end of the day, you know, there was so much going on and there was not much room there to promote the works. You know what I mean? People couldn't travel. Then it got to the point where if you're not vaccinated, you can't travel. So, you know, say with music, traveling is a big part of that. You know what I mean? You have to go places, and if you can't get to go those places, the music that you put out in the pandemic, it don't really last long. And that's what we saw happen with a lot of artists putting out music in the pandemic. It would come out and you get attention for a week or two, and then it's on to the next. The attention span of humanity was just, it just wasn't there to keep them focused on the project if the artists weren't passing through their town. You know what I mean? So we study the atmosphere and we work with it. And now we're here with our first single in 2.5 years and preparing to hit the road this summer for more touring internationally. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sounds good. Now, this single also features 3 other artists.
Yes.
Tell us about them.
Well, it features I-Octane, a young veteran like I and I. 2 of the young rising artists out of Jamaica now, which is Jahshi and Rytikal. It's great to work with up and coming talent. During this pandemic, there's been a lot of artists that have made headway, a lot of younger artists because the veterans we kind of played it cool, so it gave room for younger artists to break through. With the young generation so into social media and these things, you know, these young artists are taking off in a different way that we're not really used to. You know, them take off through the YouTube platform, them take off through the Instagram platform, the TikTok platform. You know, they didn't really need radio DJs and people like that to break them. They didn't. You know what I mean? So there's so much people in the world, and with this generation, the young generation that they are representing, they consume music very different from our generation. You know what I mean? And when you understand that, you will understand where the world is, and you won't look down on what the youth them are do, because at the end of the day, them are represent for them generation, and this is what they have created. It's their world, and you have to make do with it. You know what I mean? We can't look on them and say, boy, them a mash up the thing and where. No, because if that was the case, we can't say we mash up where Jesus and Abraham and King David did set, because the world is nothing compared to when Mozart was here or Beethoven was here. Neither is music the way it was when Mozart and Beethoven was making music. So we have to understand that with every generation comes change. You know what I mean? And this is where the world is today. So is it that you're going to adapt or you're going to be forgotten?
Yes.
All right. And that's some of the headlines for Front Page. Some of my peers in the Jamaican and the international community we have written some headlines on the front page, and yes, some of them say crime, poverty, violence, and the music caused that. So is it really because of music?
Nah, man. All music for cause crime. All music for cause poverty. It's impossible. Crime is caused because of the way the system set. You understand? What music does is highlight the status that we are in. Music is just another means of carrying the news to the people. Just like you have CNN or you have BBC or you have, all them, music news outlets. So at the end of the day, you can't blame music because the youth them are sing what them are seeing at them community. This is what they know. You understand? Crime and violence and sex and money and drugs. This is what the system put in place for the hierarchy, remain the hierarchy. And we, the poor and the struggling, remain the poor and the struggling. You know what I mean? So it's just like, when you look upon what going on in the world, this change is inevitable, And, that's why I say the youth, them with their generation, they're into so many different things that the older people who are in power and in parliament and in Congress, these people are in their 70s, some of them are in their 80s. What do they have in common with a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old? Right. The common retirement age is 65 years old. So why you have people in Congress and parliament over 65 years old? Them should have retired just like everybody else. And I feel like, say, if you put something in place where you say, all right, you cannot be a congressman or you can't be a lord in the House of Parliament or whatever you call it over there, over the age of 65, because at that time you only want to be gravelicious and hold on to your own power. You understand? You're not doing anything that's going to benefit the growth of future. That's why there's such a big divide between the youth them today. Anyone under the age of 50 years old, there's a big divide between us and those in their 70s. We have nothing in common. You know what I mean? And the world has changed the way the world was running in the 80s and the 70s and the 90s. It's a different world now. And these people who are in power, they don't want to let go. You know what I mean? But time is the master. So, you know what I mean? No one lives forever. So, them are go hold on till them dead and gone. And the youth, them are go take over. So, that's time,
Yes.
Yeah.
So in the video that I hope everyone will watch, and we'll tell them where to watch it soon. In the video, Bigger Ford had a lot of, I should say, Bigger Man.
The big man, big bossy.
The bigger boss. He had a lot to say about what is causing all this trouble.
Yeah.
Music, dance hall music. Is it balanced? Are we showing a balanced front in music, in dancehall music?
Well, you have to look at it like this, 7 billion people on the planet. I think it's more. Everyone is not going to see things the same way. It's impossible. You know what I mean? So when you have some talk about sex, some talk about money, some talk about crime and violence, some talk about culture and liberty, there's an audience for everything. There's a consuming audience for everything. You understand? So, you have some people like to go to the club and you have some people that like to stay home. This is the reality of humanity. And there's nothing we can do about it. You know what I mean? From them things that exist, is either you have to wipe it out and turn the whole world in a communism where you tell the people how them to live, where them to go, what time them to reach home. If the world now runs, so you can't stop what go on. Now, you as a person, if you're not into something, leave it to those who are into it. You know what I mean? Like, who are we to judge? And who are we to say, this is what is wrong and this is what is right? No, right and wrong become preference now. Because who made the law to say that is right or that is wrong? You understand? That's why these youth today have a thing where they have a label for everything. They go from straight in a few time I just gear straight. No, it's trans, this and that, and there's so many different, you understand? And that's the way of the world. That's the growth of technology. Nothing remains the same. The only constant in life is change. You understand? And when you can't accept that, you can't understand and say, you know, because I see it, and my peers, you know, we talk about it all the time and say, yo, the youth, them a mash up the thing. The artist that was before us said the same thing about us. And the artist that was before them said the same thing about them. So it's just a cycle. You know, the ones who are before always want to say the ones who come after them and mash up the thing.
Damn. We love it when you take your time, articulate yourself from your generation,
yes,
and allow through this song another generation to speak their mind.
You have to.
But these artists, come on, I know every artist is supposed to be able to speak their mind on these topics. Not every artist can talk about Jamaica and Africa and Europe.
Why not? What? Of course, everyone is allowed to. We come at this world born in a free world. We never born in Russia where a communist, where you or China where you're told what to do. We're born in a free world. And every artist, like, you can't tell an artist how to paint them picture. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And everybody like Michelangelo paintings and Leonardo da Vinci paintings. But no one could tell these man in that time in the Renaissance now, them man they was looked upon as madman, you know. Yeah. Them man they was upon like madman. And now in our modern time now, we are revering their work. Like where Malcolm X and Martin Luther King was looked at as troublemakers and mad people that tried to disrupt the status quo. And they were killed for it. And today now you have Martin Luther King Day, you celebrate Martin Luther King, you're celebrating Malcolm X. Like, come on, man. Then why did you kill these people 40, 30, 40, 50 years ago?
Really?
You know what I mean? You kill this, when Jesus Christ was here, then kill him. Now the whole world are bow down to Jesus Christ. Or at least half the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you look at these things and you look at the pattern and the behavior of mankind, and you get to understand. Instead of you condemn, you try and understand and move forward. Like me with the youth, them now, when I look upon them, I have to empower them, because at the end of the day, they're the voice of their generation. Like Beanie and Bounty and Cape Town and Sizzla, Anthony B, Morgan Heritage, Bushman, we were the voices of our generation. And still we are the voice of the oncoming generation. But you ask some of these young youth, they don't even know who a Morgan Heritage is, or a Beanie or a Bounty, or, but because some of us stay relevant and always in the eye of the people. You know, some of them will know, but some of these youth, man, they don't know what you're talking about. They can't relate to you saying, boy, yeah, mash up with Shabba. Some of them might say, who is Shabba? Who is Morgan Heritage? Who is, you know what I'm saying? It's their world now. It's either you're going to work with them or you're going to be left behind, because these kids, this generation, they don't care. Them not care about what y'all say. What them I say is what them I say. And I eat that.
Love it.
So where can people watch this video? Do you have a Vivo channel?
We have Morgan Heritage TV on YouTube. That's where the video is right now. So go ahead and check it out. It's headline for front page. Morgan Heritage featuring Jahshi, Rytikal, I-Octane. You know, it's the older generation with the younger generation, and it's also to show that these youths, they're very conscious, and their way of expressing their consciousness is very different than the way we express our consciousness. You know what I mean? Because their generation understand it a different way. Because if you listen to what the youth them must say, you know, or you fit tell your youth say, him not hold a gun when you own a 45 Chrome. You know, and or you fit tell your daughter don't get involved in sex when she's influenced by porn. And these things are free access on the internet. And everybody have a computer walking around within them hand, which is your phone. It's not a phone anymore. The phone is just an application on the device.
You got things.
What's in your hand is a computer.
The thing where you use lease.
The thing where you use lease, brother. Nobody now use phone again. A be application. You understand? So when you understand this and know, say, when we have to read books to learn things or research things, All you have to do is type it in, and everything about that thing, the way I research pop up on the internet. You will find it. It there.
Or the artificial intelligence will just put it out there.
Oh yeah. The artificial intelligence is taking track of the things you search, and all of a sudden, when you're watching a video, you see commercials based on what you've been searching.
Right.
Right.
Really something.
It's like technology. Listen, technology has gone to a level where we can't stop it now. Artificial intelligence has it works quicker than a normal human mind, even though we created it.
Isn't that something?
It's human beings create this thing, but it's so advanced. It's growing on its own, just based on what you're putting in there.
Yes.
Right. It's ahead of you. It's working faster than you even thinking.
Yeah, man. Listen, when we used to make music in our studio, and they have musicians going and play things,
Right.
I see the youth them make music just playing the keypad on a computer.
Yeah.
You're not seeing keyboard notes or nothing. It's the letters.
Yes.
On the computer they might use to create music. So even the creation of music has changed. Like musician, everybody who have the talent to play music vex right now because them not getting no work. Because them youth are make rhythm in them bedroom, in them bathroom, anywhere around them kitchen table.
Right.
And it's still getting played. It's still getting researched.
Since we're talking about the youth, there's also a dance challenge on TikTok.
Yes, I think so.
I'm not even going to try and demonstrate it.
Me worse. That has been created for the youth to be a part of the message where Morgan Heritage deliver. And if you want your message to reach the youth, them, you have to give it to them in the way they can digest it. Like you want to give a newborn baby steak and chicken, you have to break it up and grind it up and feed them. You can't give them the whole chicken leg or the whole piece of steak and think say a baby with no teeth are gonna eat it and consume it. It don't work, so I saw me see music, so we Morgan Heritage see music. If you want your message to come across, you've got to give it to the oncoming generation in the way they digest food. Simple. You have to look upon it as simple as that.
Yeah.
I like that. Is the headline for front page here on the Sunshine Show. All right, so I have to confess, Mojo is my Dan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Grandma. But right now, Peetah, are you win?
Give thanks, my general. Give thanks.
How they find you and how do they support Morgan Heritage?
Well, Morgan Heritage, all our social media handles is at Morgan Heritage. And if you're looking for me personally, it's at Peetah Music, Peetah Music, MUSIC.
Well, we do know everybody else's, but we won't tell them right now. I'm curious about the concept of the video. Who decided to? I mean, it's literally breaking news. But the director, you have you're acting. Your brother's acting.
We tried.
Good.
No, it was an idea between the director and Mojo. They put it all together. Mojo is into that, director seat more than anyone else in the group for years. A couple of the videos from the past, he was co-director of it. So, it was his brainchild, and we didn't just want to do a video where we just step on the streets with bridging them and one bag of man at the video. Like, we wanted to present it like, a news broadcasting, or this is what they should be talking about on the news. You know what I mean? So, it's just a different style of bringing across a message, and even presenting the youth them in a way they haven't been presented before. You know what I mean? Because if you look at all their videos they've ever shot, they've never shot anything like this before. And them themselves will tell you that. And just the way it's put together, you put it together like a project. This is one of the reasons why we Morgan Heritage, you don't see us do so many videos. Because whatever you do, it's got to make impact. And it's got to be remembered. Like you can't have all of your video them just look the same. Are you and your brethren them and one bag of man of behind you and one bag of car or whatever? And, it's like, okay, been there, done that. So we take our time and do videos with concept. Where it has meaning and it'll last. And people want to watch it for years to come.
Love it, love it, love it. His name is Peetah. That's like the princess. This is the Sunsplash Mix Show, man. This is great. Man,
respect.
Have to do it again.
Natural. Give thanks for having me. Bless up, massive. This is Peetah Morgan from Morgan Heritage, and right now you're locked into the Sunsplash Mix Show. My brethren, Ja Prince, and my sister, Selecta Princess. Saying keep it locked, it's hot. Remember, Peetah said that.